class has been getting screwed now for 40 years. It's time for us to reclaim our place in the American democracy that we have here. And we do this, my friends, by building again in the United States of America, by making things again in the United States of America, by filling these factories where we make the electric vehicles, where we make the batteries, where we make the solar panels, where we reverse climate change by putting the American people back to work. We do this, my friends. We do this, my friends, by moving the center of gravity in the Democratic Party back to the middle of the country and back to the South. And if we do that, we will send Donald Trump packing, but we will also send Mitch McConnell packing. We will win a seat in North Carolina. We will win a seat in West Virginia. We will win a seat in Iowa. And we will send Lindsey Graham packing too. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Our next candidate is a member of the House of Representatives. But before that, he gave his all so that we can stand here tonight. A man who spent 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan, sacrificing on our behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth Moulton.
Thank you very much. Good evening, South Carolina. I am a United States Marine veteran. I'm a United States congressman, and I am a young father. And I do not want my 8-month-old daughter growing up in a country defined by Donald Trump. Donald Trump thinks he knows what patriotism is. He thinks that patriotism is hugging the flag. Patriotism is standing up every single day to make sure the flag stands for something. Donald Trump also thinks that he is above the law. And that is wrong, which is why I was the first candidate in this race to say that the job of the United States House of Representatives, when a president breaks the law, is to start impeachment proceedings, and we should have done that a long time ago. I have fought for this country, and I will fight for you. And someone who has been fighting for you for 25 years is Jim Clyburn. And I just want to tell you one quick thing. When I came to the United States Congress, I defeated an 18-year incumbent in my own party. I was not exactly the popular kid on the block. And a lot of people said they would be a good mentor to me. But one man took me under his wing, introduced me to all his friends, and made sure that I got off to a great start. That's your Jim Clyburn. It's our Jim Clyburn, a great American. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next candidate. All right. The leader of the Yang Gang. There they are.
Hello, South Carolina! It is so fantastic to be here with you. I am not a career politician. I am an entrepreneur and a problem solver. And I am here to solve the biggest problem, the biggest challenge of our time. It is a challenge that got Donald Trump elected in 2016. The reason why Donald Trump is our president today is this. We automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs here in South Carolina, in Michigan, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in Missouri, in Iowa. And my friends in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing jobs, we will now do to the retail jobs, the call center jobs, the fast food jobs, the truck driving jobs, and on through the economy. We are in the midst of the greatest economic and technological transformation in the history of our country, what experts are calling the 4th Industrial Revolution. And I am running for president to help manage this transition and advance real solutions for the American people that would help improve our lives. Now, if you've heard anything about me, you've heard this. There's an Asian man running for president who wants to give everyone $1,000 a month. And all three of those things are dead true, South Carolina. What would $1,000 a month mean for the college kids struggling at USC or Columbia College to pay your bills and your tuition and your textbooks? What would $1,000 a month mean for the single mom who's trying to create a better life for their son or daughter? What would $1,000 a month mean for the elderly South Carolinian who's struggling with prescription drug prices that are going higher and higher? This is the vision of a trickle-up economy that with your help we will take to the rest of the country in 2020. Trickle up from our families, our communities, up. What do you think, South Carolina? This is the vision. We have to solve the problems that got Donald Trump elected in the first place. Now, Donald Trump's our president because he got some of the problems right, but his solutions were garbage and nonsense. His solutions were build a wall, turn back time, bring the jobs back, and we have to do the opposite of all that. We have to turn the clock forward. We have to advance our society and our economy as fast as possible, and I am the man for that job because the opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian man who likes math. Let's make America think harder. Thank you, South Carolina. I love you. Thank you, Congressman Clyburn.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, our next candidate is also a mayor from the state of Florida, Marymount, Florida, is a Marymount, Florida, Mayor Wayne Messam.
Thank you, Congressman Clyburn. Hello, South Carolina. I'm Miramar, Florida Mayor Wayne Messam, and my wife of 21 years, Angela Messam. I drug her all the way up to South Carolina, and yes, I'm getting out of the doghouse. So help me say, I'm sorry, baby. But South Carolina, I'm Miramar Mayor Wayne Messam. I stand before you as a son of immigrants. My father was a contract sugar. Sorry for my Clemson Tiger friends. I caught my first touchdown against Clemson from Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward. But I went on, after my NFL career was cut short, my wife and I, we built the construction management, one of the fastest minority firms in Florida. And we're proud of that and we're grateful for that. And I'm living the American dream that my parents came here for. But I see that for too many Americans, that American dream is slipping away. So let's talk about what I've done as a mayor. In the city of Miramar, Florida, we're the 13th largest city in the state of Florida, but we're fighting a lot of issues that's transferable across this country. I'm suing the state of Florida right now so that I, as a mayor, can put sensible gun control laws in my city. If I don't want assault-style weapons in our parks, don't you know the governor of Florida can remove me from office, fine me $5,000, and my city can be sued. That's ridiculous, isn't it? But I'm not sitting back. I'm suing the state for that. Right now, there is a big oil is trying to drill oil right outside of my city in the Everglades, and we're fighting that right now. As a mayor, we passed the living wage in our city because we feel our city workers should not have to work more than one job to take care of their families. We banned the box in my city because you may have had a hiccup in your past, so we don't ask the question if you've been arrested, if you're trying to get your life back on track. America, my friends, for us to win this election, we cannot forget the disenchanted. I was the first candidate to propose a complete forgiveness of student loan debt in this country. $1.5 trillion, affected 44 million Americans. I'm so glad to see other candidates have proposed their own plan because we know that The access to higher education is too far-reaching for many of us, especially people of color and women who own almost over 50% of that debt. We can do that. We have a president in this country right now that is so bent up on building a wall on our southern border. The political will is just that strong that he'll take money away from our bases to build it. So my question to you is, why isn't our political will so strong enough that we'll provide health care to every American in this country? Why don't we have the political will to have sensible gun control in America? Why don't we have the political will to make sure that we pass a living wage at $15 an hour in this country so that Americans can really be able to take care of their families? So if you want to support this campaign, I want to thank you, South Carolina. You gave me my second national poll, and I'm only one poll away from making it to the debates. So if you want to continue to help my campaign, visit WayneForUSA.com, WayneForUSA.com, because I tell you, I will bring a championship voice to this race. There's more ideas, so thank you for having me this evening. Thank you, Mr. Clyburn, for having such a great fish fry. I think I had too many pieces, but I'm going to get a couple of more. We love you, South Carolina. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next candidate is my classmate. We came to Congress together, sworn in 1993. I'm still hanging around Congress. He is now retired as the governor of the state of Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, my good buddy, Jay Inslee.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. That's high praise. My name is Jay Inslee. I'm governor of the state of Washington. Before I say anything else, can we give a big thanks for the people who fed us tonight? They were incredible. A lot of work going on. Listen, we know that we've got hot fish and cold beer, two of the best things in the world. But we do have a little serious work to do tonight, and I want to talk to you about two things. I want to talk to you about one of the reasons I've always been Jim Clyburn's big fan. Back when George Bush was trying to start a war in Iraq, and the war drums were beating, and the deception was flying, and John Bolton and his crew was trying to start a war in the Mideast, Jim Clyburn stood like a big oak tree against the Iraq war, and I stood with him. And now, that same strength that this man showed, we got to show to stop a war in Iran. That's what the Democratic Party needs to do. And I hope you're going to stand with me in that regard. Now, the second thing I'll say is I think this country deserves a president that doesn't lie to us all the time. Now, there's a lot of lies that can get to us, but there's one that bugs me the most. When he says that climate change is a hoax, when our towns are burning down, when our fields are flooded, when our coastlines are inundated, when he says that wind turbines cause cancer, we Democrats know they don't cause cancer, they cause jobs. And we are going to put people to work in this nation defeating climate change, because we are going to make defeating the climate crisis the #1 job of the United States. And when we do that, we're going to put 8 million people to work in union jobs, IBEW members, machinists, carpenters, steel workers. This is the destiny of the United States. Let's go beat climate change. It's our destiny. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next candidate is also a friend, a former colleague. I had my biggest book signing event in his home, hosted by him and his great wife. Ladies and gentlemen, John Delaney.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim Clyburn. Let's hear it for Jim, for the incomparable, the extraordinary, the one-of-a-kind Jim Clyburn. Thank you, South Carolina. I'll tell you, the one thing that always struck me about Jim, so I grew up in a working-class family. My dad was an electrician. He was a union electrician. And we didn't have any fancy conversations around the dinner table about politics. But what he would tell me all the time if you care about workers, you vote for the Democrats. And I'll tell you, if we can get back to that lesson, we're going to win every election. And Jim Clyburn doesn't let anyone forget about that lesson in the Congress of the United States. My friends, together we are on a mission to find the America that has been lost. Lost through inaction, lost through incivility, lost through a president who lacks a moral compass. We're better than this. Every one of us are better than this. As a country, we are a country of faith, of goodness, of strength and ambition. We saved the world. We created the American dream for millions of people, including people like myself, who grew up in a blue-collar family, had a successful career in business, and then the privilege to serve my country. But we did it with real solutions, not impossible promises. And we got to do that again. Whether it's fixing health care, improving public education, building infrastructure, or creating jobs, we got to do it with real solutions and put the worker at the center of those solutions. That's what I promised to do as your president. I've done it my whole life. I don't want to just be your president. I want to do the job. God bless you all. Thank you, Jim Clyburn. Thank you, South Carolina. And thank you for soon sending Jamie Harrison to the Senate of the United States of America.
Thank you very much, John. Many of you recall John was here last year. Thank you so much for coming back. Ladies and gentlemen, our next candidate is someone with whom I've partnered in recent weeks to do what we can to reduce student debt. She's got a plan for that. And I want to share in that plan. Ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Warren.
Hello, South Carolina! South Carolina! We got a government that works great. It works fabulously. It works terrifically for the rich and the powerful. I'm running for president because I want a government that works for the rest of us. I'm in this fight because I believe that the time for small ideas is over. We need big structural change in this country, in this economy. And big structural change starts with big ideas. How about a wealth tax on the top 1/10 of 1%? And you know what we can do with that money? We can build opportunity in this country. Universal child care for every baby age 0 to 5. Pre-K for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old in this country. Raise the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher in this country. Tuition-free technical college, community college, and 4-year college all across this country. $50 billion to our historically black colleges and universities. And in a great plan with Congressman Clyburn, we can cancel student loan debt for 95% of the kids who've got it. We make this government work for us, and that means we're just getting started. We need to attack our problems head on. We need to attack climate change head on. We need to attack the control of the NRA head on. We need to have courage in this country. So for me, it's about building a future. This is our chance. 2020, we can dream big, fight hard, and win!
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to all of the candidates, after our next two speakers, we would like for you to come up here. A lot of people would like to get this picture of all the candidates up here. We believe that that picture can be the picture we can carry all across South Carolina and help turn this state blue. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to our next candidate, who's a fierce prosecutor, a great United States Senator from the state of California, a good friend whose name I know how to pronounce, Kamala Harris.
Thank you. What's up, Columbia? So listen, it's that point of the evening where almost everything that has to be said has been said except one thing. But I'm going to take us down for a moment. I want to take us down for a moment. I'm going to take us down. Let's go for a moment. We just celebrated this week, sadly, the 4th anniversary of Emanuel 9. And we cannot forget that it was here in South Carolina that we have had heroes of our nation who fought and died for civil rights, who fought and died for equality, who fought and died to ensure that we would have a voice, that our voice would be recognized, that our voices would be powerful, and that we would not relent until there was full equality for all Americans and all human beings. And so we honor the Emanuel 9. We honor the heroes that they were. And it is upon these great heroes and so many who fought for our civil rights, it is upon their shoulders that I stand as a candidate for President of the United States. And I will tell you, I fully intend to win this election. And in this fight, this is a fight not only to recognize our history and honor the ancestors and honor the heroes. It is a fight for our future and a vision of our future and a vision of our future of our America. And our vision of our America's future includes a vision where everyone has health care. It will not be a matter of a privilege, it will be a matter of a right. Our vision for our America is an America where no one has to suffer. No one has to be in pain. No one has to worry about where their next paycheck is coming from. In our America, people will only have to work one job to put food on the table and a roof over their head. In our America, our teachers will be paid their value because they are raising our future. In our America, no one who has HIV or AIDS will be prevented from having the drugs they need because they don't have the money in their back pocket. In our America, our children will never have to sit in school and go through a jail worried about a gunman roaming the halls of their classroom and school because we will put in place reasonable gun safety laws, including a universal background check and a renewal of the assault weapons ban in our America. And in our America, we will have a president of the United States who is in the business not of beating people down, but lifting people up. And with your help, we will get this done. Thank you, South Carolina.
Thank you, my dear. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next candidate. I know you have seen her picture on billboards all up and down our highways and byways, not just on this interstate. I'm coming out of rural church in Colleton County Sunday before last, and I looked up, there was this big billboard in rural Colleton County a billboard of Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi.
Aloha, South Carolina. Let me hear you one more time. Aloha. Thank you very much, Congressman Clyburn, for your incredible leadership and how much hard work you and your team put into hosting this event. It's great to be back here in South Carolina, especially in the middle of summer. Almost 17 years ago, I was here with a big rucksack on my back and a duffel bag on my front as a young private headed to Fort Jackson. Now, I've served for now over 16 years in the Army National Guard. I've deployed twice to the Middle East, where I had the privilege and honor of serving with so many great Americans, people who truly embodied what it means to put service above self, people who sacrificed so much. As your president, I will bring those values of service above self to the White House, putting people ahead of profits, putting people ahead of politics, placing the interests of the American people and our country above all else. Now, the challenges that we face are great because the rich and powerful have been in charge of Washington for far too long, leaving the rest of us behind. But here's what I know, that when we stand united, motivated by that care and love we have for each other and for our country, there is no challenge we cannot overcome. When we stand united, we can pass Medicare for all. When we stand united, we can take on big pharma and insurance who are exploiting the sick to profit. When we stand united, we can pass criminal justice reform, end the federal marijuana prohibition, and ban private prisons. When we stand united, we can stand together to protect our environment, make sure we have clean water and clean air, and ban offshore drilling. As your president and commander-in-chief, I will end the wasteful regime change wars that have been so costly. I'll end the new Cold War and nuclear arms race and take the trillions of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars and invest them in our people, in our communities, and in our future. So I'm asking you to stand with me and join me as we bend the arc of history away from war and towards peace, towards that bright future with hope and opportunity, justice, and equality for all. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. Aloha.
Get everybody up. If I can get all the candidates, please join us. If we can get the candidate.
I know, right? Going down, going down, going down, going down to the end. Going down to the. You know we got.
You looking good for you right here?
I know. All the tall people in the back. He can you be seen? Oh, they want the short people up front. All right. Can we see everybody? Can you see everybody? All right. Get your head between someone. Ladies and gentlemen of South Carolina, these are your candidates. Show them how much South Carolina appreciates them being here. Woo! Yes!
Other way.
Where's McGowan? Where's Angela? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I want to thank my daughters, Jennifer, Angela, Mignon, my granddaughter, Sydney, my staff, and those of you. I want you all to know how much I love each and every one of you. If things go well, those of you who have been asking, let me just tell you, Emily is doing well. She's going to be around. We're going to celebrate our 58th on Monday. Thank you so much for asking.